Morning all, me again. I'm Tim, this is How to Murder Feet, a interminable video diary of one man's increasing obsession with the coast of the United Kingdom. And we're going that way today. That's the pier, we were there last time. We're going over that way, there's some sort of marina there and then a little bit of a foreshore. We're heading to Seaford today, small coastal town yonder, where I've left the car. And it's about 15 miles away, I think, something like that. Sorry, I haven't had much sleep. I didn't sleep well last night for some reason. Yeah, but that's okay. I'm just going to trudge on anyway. It's like practice for actually having to sleep in a tent again. Yeah, not much. It's a fairly straight, even, flat run today. I think there might be a hill or two somewhere between here and there. One or two at New Haven. New Haven, I've never been to. There's a cross-channel ferry port, which I came back through past on the train and looked pretty quiet. So we'll be seeing that. There'll be a river there at New Haven that we'll have to cross, but I think there's plenty of nearby bridges, so that's okay. What are we doing? It's 11:02 on Sunday, the 4th of September, so it's a bit less mad up there today. Much earlier in the day, of course, but also I think we're, first weekend of September. I think we're starting to head into autumn now, so a lot of the more seasonal, summery stuff will be drawing to a close. Even so, I'm looking at high overcast and about 20 degrees today, so that's quite pleasant. Fairly stiff onshore wind as well, which is good. That'll keep me cool, and I don't think I'm going to get rained on at all today, but we'll see. Which is a shame, because I spent all of yesterday re-waterproofing all of my stuff, my tents, my anoraks, my waterproof trousers, even did my boots. I did my umbrella as well while I'm at it. I don't bring my umbrella hiking, that's for walking to work. But yeah, had all this stuff. A lot of bikes up there roaring along. I wonder if it's an actual thing. That road up there is closed off with a marshal in a fluorescent jacket telling people to go away, so it must be a thing going on up there. Obviously, as usual, I'll take some footage of it if it is. But yes, I mean, mostly I'm looking to just get out of Brighton today, because walking here from the train, the whole city basically stinks of cannabis, which is difficult to describe if you've never smelled it before, but if you have, you know what I mean. Cloying, I think is the word. But there's a nice onshore breeze to keep that off of me at the moment, which is good. So yeah, heading that way, heading out of Brighton, away from the bright glitzy lights. I don't really know where the next major seaside town is, probably Eastbourne actually, but that's not today, that's the next one. So my schedule, my overall schedule is looking quite good actually, because of that extra double hike bank holiday weekend we did last week. I'm now back on track to hit Eastbourne on precisely the day that I've taken off work, precisely the weekend for the week I've taken off work, which is good. Although, just after I'd booked all that, the British Rail announced a 2-day strike, which is the 15th and the 17th. And the 17th is the day I'm trying to get to Eastbourne from where I live. I was going to do it by train, which obviously is not going to happen now, so all about contingencies. I'm going to have to try and probably take the extra Friday before that Saturday off and see if I can come down on the Friday. A lot of mucking about, not relevant for today, talk about it more later. Anyway, so yeah, today, nice and easy, straightforward, walk to Seaford, get in the car, go home. I've already done my train bit, getting from Seaford to here, Brighton. So yeah, I'm going to crack on. Let's make a start on the day's proceedings. I don't know, I don't plan this stuff, I just turn up, do my thing, but yeah, so seems to be some kind of bike event. Is it mods or rockers? I think they have a rotor nowadays instead of all that like fighting with pipe wrenches and chains. So yeah, a lot of bigger motorbikes rather than scooters. Oh, I don't know. Maybe it's not. Got over there, sort of trike things. I don't know, this might be every Sunday for all I know. Looking busy. Need to get some footage of this, mostly for me dad, he's well into the bikes. If you're watching, these are what real bikes look like. I have no idea what I'm looking at. Motorbikes, I guess? The security people have been turning cars away, but letting motorbikes through, so it must be something special, some sort of event, yeah. Got various clubs with marquees on the other side there. Is that a pit lane? Is this a race? It goes on for about a mile. Various chapters of clubs and things. Let's stop filming them, I won't get beaten up. Is that a motorcycle hearse? I think it is. Some sort of sound stage, DJ setting up. Some sort of festival I've stumbled into again. Yeah. Oh, and Volk Electric Railway. Ooh. This is a famous local thing. See? Proper beachfront railway, none of this a little truck dressed up as a train nonsense. So much black leather going on here at the moment. I don't know what to make of it all. Presumably this ends at some point, but I don't know, maybe it's all the way up to Seaford. Just a whole day of walking past motorbikes. It's quite a cool one. I don't even know what that is. It says Indian on the side. We're walking into oncoming motorbikes now. They're coming back down here to park. It's crazy. Isn't there like a Goodwood or something these people can go to? Yeah, I think I've come to the end of this side. Steward there turning them round into there to park. Blimey, it'll be quite a sight once it's all filled up. Mind you, I got a crack on. Mind you, there's all down the other side as well. Not quite the same thing. Yeah, I don't know what they do. Drag race up and down here, or it's just a show and tell, is it? Oh, that thing. I mean, there comes a point when it's not really a motorbike anymore. It's more of a sort of convertible car missing one front wheel and a roof. Crazy. Aha. I mean, amongst all the mayhem of Brighton seafront, I kind of lost track of those, but we were still following them, and there's another one. So we want to cross the railway. Oh dear. Access to the beach 30 metres that way. Well, that's no good, is it? Apparently I need to go there. I need to be on that footpath over there, I think is what they mean, but can't just help myself. This. To go over there, it's probably a level crossing or something. Oh, 30 metres, literally there. Okay, no, that's fine. Taking the acorns a bit literally there. No, but it's good that they're still there, that's good. I was gushing quite a lot about that last time out, having finally found an England Coast Path sign, and we're still on them, so that's good. So we need to obey the acorns, which is nice, yeah, take the brain off the hook for a bit. And here we go, best of both worlds. We're on the beach, but I'm not on the stones. Another one of these all-access beach promenade things, sort of plastic planks there, all weatherproof probably. I can see some people on mobility scooters using it up ahead there, look, which is great. The beach for all. Oh, I don't know what this is all about. It's a sort of progressive artwork or some sort of flood defence, not quite sure, could be either. Got a shot of the motorbikes now, those of you gunning about the place still. Big promenade on the top there. I've decided to stay down here, to be honest. Coast Guard helicopter maybe? Good, so there's a marina up ahead. We need to just bypass that. I don't think there's even a way across the breakwaters at the end. So. Just follow the acorns, I think. See where we end up. Looks like we might be going up. This is lovely. Very 1960s concrete design. Brighton Marina. It's not even like a cross-channel port or anything. Not sure the massive ramps and car park and everything, but right, okay, this way. Yeah. Marinas and sailing clubs truly are the golf courses of the sea, of the coast. we get this instead now. That's sort of interesting, well maintained, wide path, bicycles only, there's no cars or anything on it. They got netting on the crumbly chalk cliff face as well, which is good. I mean, it's full of these sort of metal sort of raw plug type things. You can see one thing, sort of driven into the thing all the way across, and then the net obviously. So, but there has been danger falling rock signs all along here. So, sort of change, yeah, it's fading from sand in where Brighton sort of ends up into this chalk now. You think chalk has been quite crumbly, but you end up with a lot more cliffs, chalk cliffs that seem to survive longer than nearby sand and mud. It's all relative, I suppose, relative scale of hardness and all that. And chalk is quite crumbly, but I guess it can be made to hold together, cement together after rain deposition, mineral deposits and so on. Still wouldn't catch me climbing on it, no. Some sort of marina development area. I think we move back on to something more open next. No, I'm sorry, that's simply unacceptable. These flats only have moorings for one yacht. So keep on looking. But the neighbours love that guy. Sets off in the morning. Bah! Can't you get a little dainty yacht like everyone else? There's a canal barge there. No, they got that here. I don't think there's any canals nearby. Carefully, I suppose, on a very calm day. Now, here we are. It's the end of the marina and presumably the end of Bournemouth, technically. Don't know what goes on above the cliff there. Probably more villages and things, but this looks like it goes on for a very long way. Just a great big long under-cliff concrete promenade, which I suppose I can walk all the way along. I don't know what happens at the end. I mean, clearly there's cliffs and climbs up ahead. I mean, I've not seen cliffs like that since the Isle of Wight, and then before that it was like Dorset, Purbeck, so might be doing a bit of climbing today. But, you know, having done the north coast of Cornwall at Hartland Point and Bude, I mean, yeah, that's barely a speed bump, frankly. But we'll see when we get there. Maybe this goes all the way on to Seaford, I don't know. I just probably might get all the way to Newhaven, I don't know. Could be in for a much easier day than I thought today. Very busy as well, a popular little route. Yeah. Interesting. Trouble is, the difference between wild camping and vagrancy is quite thin around this part of the world, so could be either. Yeah, it could be me in about a fortnight. Don't know if I need to be less reassured or more. Obviously a particular piece of cliff with a history of bits falling off. And yeah, you can see the occasional stone hanging on the grating there. Well, I'll just keep moving. Keep to the right where I can. Yeah, see the coast road goes sort of right near the edge on the top of there. I think there's a path up there, but it also looks like this whole thing continues down there as well. So that's what you want in a good sea defence. Yes, defend the land from being eaten by the sea, but why not? While you're doing all this concrete, put a footpath along the top, and we can all enjoy it. Homeowners and properties and towns get to survive, and I get to walk nicely along the seafront on some good terrain. Win-win. Mind you, look at those buttresses. yeah, there's a lot of effort to keep the sea off of this, clearly. Obviously deemed worth it. There's Brighton in the background, that ridiculous British Airways donut on a stick viewing gallery thing. Obviously not in use today. And there's the marina. And we're off. We're going around the end over here. We probably won't see Brighton again. Another tick on my list. Some beach huts of the more grim sort, more utilitarian. Still got a wavy roof, you know. But a minimum concession to decor. Don't know if that's going in or coming out. Yeah, it might be going out. Quite far out already though. Doubt it ever sees sand around here. Rocks and then rocks. Yeah, there's a beach hut cafe thing there. Also footpath closed signs and bollards, and I'm trying to work out if that was just because of the cafe or something horrific around there that I don't know about. There was an alternate acorn going up and along there, but we'll chance it, see what's going on. These people all seem not to be dead, so that's the key, isn't it? I don't need to outrun the rock slide, I just need to outrun them on their bicycles. Yeah, okay. Not much new to report. Not been brained by a falling hunk of chalk. But yeah, pretty slimy all the way so far. Which is okay, you know, I shall look back on this with fondness when I'm thrashing around a Lincolnshire salt marsh 3 days from the nearest bus stop. Yeah, some lifeguard flags up ahead on the beach. Obviously there's some kind of little mini touristy bit coming up. Shop and whatnot. Might get a drink. I fancy a coffee actually. I know it's relatively warm today, but I could do with the caffeine. So here we are, 12:15. This is Rottingdean. Rotting, not Rotten. Still an unpleasant name, frankly, but pleasant enough looking place. They're doing beach litter pickup grabby stick bucket type things today, which I approve of. I can't stop and help though. Let's move on. Little shop there. See what they've got in the way of kiosks and takeaway. Beyond we can see more cliffs. Some of which is New Haven and some of which is Seaford and some of which is Beachy Head. So yeah, having a trouble working out the scale involved today. We'll see. Yeah, this is probably quickly becoming my new catchphrase. If I just keep walking, I'll find out. So yeah, nothing to worry about really. Going to have a mooch at the shop. Doesn't look like too big a queue actually. It's not a big sunny summer day, which is good. Might actually be able to have the patience to buy things from shops today. Complete abysmal shopping failure there. Turned out to be a longer queue inside the shop as well. That's okay, I'm alright. Yeah, so this footpath carries on for a considerable distance. Let's see it on the far side of that bay. So I'm guessing it goes around the corner and then goes up onto the top at some point. Then we'll probably have to follow the top of the cliff for a way, which would be nice. A bit of a change of scenery. But they're quite windy today, so it's going to be quite noisy and blustery up top there, I expect. But wind pushing onto the cliff, so that's good. These won't get blown off to my death. Good. All right. Well, let's move on. Let's get to the end of this path and see what's what at that point. I think. Good. Yeah, I thought so. It doesn't look like that goes anywhere. Here we go. Going up. The Living Coast. Got a little logo and everything. Let's look up what that actually is. Some kind of local initiative, I imagine. Right, let's start climbing. Haven't climbed a hill in ages. I'm sure it's good for character and so on. It's not even a hill, look at it. Oh well, I've got wooden carved ones. Right, let's do it. Know where you are with a wooden signboard. That way, clearly. Much what I expected. Cliff top path. It's all good, just, you know, don't get too near the fence bit. But no, look, this is interesting. Which I'm assured is different from West Sussex, which I'm currently in right here. So that'd be another county ticked off. East Saltdean coming up into. So yeah, there we go, West Sussex, tick in the box. Brighton and Hove, yeah, different district council and everything. Oh, good. So what did we think of West Sussex? I liked it, I think. Easy going. I mean, apart from the whole, you know, Chichester Harbour bit, which was a pain in the arse, frankly. With some access issues, I think, as well, to be fair. It's not been plain sailing all the way. I've had to go inland a few times around individual people's houses that have been built right onto the sea. Yeah, Chichester Harbour, quite hard going. No hills though, very flat, all of it, which is good. Yeah, and now we're up into White Cliffs, Beachy Head country now for East Sussex. down into Eastbourne, onto, I don't know, Hastings and so on. I'm not sure where the border of Kent starts, that can't be too far on either. We'll come across that in due course. So yeah, there we go, whole new county. Right, I'll probably have to go down and up that far cliff there with the radio mast thing on. What is that? Some sort of beacon statue? Oh, it might be it's an obelisk. Okay, I do like an obelisk. You get to learn a word of an alien language from it. Splendid. But yes, as you can see, we're basically following the main coast road as well, all the way along here. So hopefully I can find like a Tesco's or a Co-op or something where there's just normal people doing normal shopping, and then I won't freak out and bail from queuing. So keep an eye out for that. Bit of climbing to do now. Yeah, I haven't seen a hill like this since the Isle of Wight. Maybe not even then, probably Purbeck. It's going to bring it all back. I'm expecting it quite sweaty, quite quickly, quite soon. Good. I'm totally in shape, seriously. Words can't describe how fit I am right now. And hot. Good, good. Could see we've gone with the Acorn as well. I mean, the Acorn's not specifically the South West Coast Path. It's just national trails, English national trails. So yeah, pretty sure South Downs Way had them as well. Parasailing guy sending whichever one it is. Because, ideal conditions for that, frankly. We're on the top of some very white cliffs that are being heated by the sun. The wind's coming from the sea into those cliffs. There's nowhere to go but straight up. And the heat of the white reflected sunlight off of the cliffs rises as well. You can probably hang there for ages. Don't even know if he's got a motor. He's just doing it unpowered. Yeah, obelisk. Somebody else chilling by the obelisk, I'll leave him alone. It's got a weather vane on the top. That's cool. Where's this? Saltine. We got basically one big long sort of series of suburby towns that all merged together all the way across to not Woking, Worthing. Worthing's the word. Yeah. So quite tricky wild camp country. I've got plans for the week of my backpacking trip. I have vague ideas of roughly where I'm going to try and find places to put the tent down, but it's quite tricky. It's very much a case of having to look for the gaps between towns and villages along this sort of stretch of the coast. Mind you, just the sheer number of tents I've seen just, on like high streets and stuff around here, I suppose I could always pretend I'm homeless. It seems a bit of a callous thing to do. I don't know, I'm just camping. Got on in the morning, no trouble to anyone. Yeah, no signs on it, no wording. A bit weather beaten. It's chalk, I suppose. Don't know. Alright, we'll go down here. Is that New Haven? We've got some more hills and things to do before that. Trying to remember what I saw on the train on the way here. It went inland a bit after New Haven, so I couldn't really see where it went before it got to Brighton. Not too far away though, I shouldn't think. Probably a bit early for New Haven, thinking about it. It's probably over the next horizon. Alright, let's keep walking. I'm going to get mileages now. So we've done 5 miles so far. New Haven Fort and Castle Hill Nature Reserve, 3.5 miles. Okay, I think that fort might be just on the top of the hill above New Haven Port itself. So, yeah, it's about an hour's worth, a bit more. Good, good, good. Let's keep on. Let's look at this. This is like being in Cornwall. It's lovely. Just undulating mud track with brambles either side. And a cliff top view of the sea. Yeah, it's all very familiar. Takes me back. All those years ago, bloody hell, 5 years ago now? Something like that. Or X more, not having a clue. I have more of a clue now, I suppose. Yeah, still pretty gormless. Yeah, good. Right, over the next one, and the next one, and the next one. Yeah, seeing more of those now. Again, tall, big, spectacular, meaningful cliff tops near large urban conglomerations. I've seen that sort of thing since that big bridge in Southampton. But yeah, we'll see more of that as we go along, particularly when we get near Beachy Head itself. There's something of a reputation for it, fortunately. Look what that was. It's like a car park and some little picnic benches and things here. Is that toilets, probably? Hasn't been anything for a while. Yeah, we're carrying along here. Nice flat cliff top. So even though we're quite high up, it's not, you know, undulating madly like it does in Cornwall and Devon. It's, you know, once it goes up, it generally stays up and it's quite gradual with its ups and downs. Different kind of geology. I mean, the reason it's all mad in Cornwall and Devon is because of chines, a word I learnt on the Isle of Wight. Essentially where a river cuts through a weak part of the cliff and forms a cross-cut canyon gully type thing. And then it's all zigzag footpaths and hernias. But I don't know, the chalk seems, I don't know, more porous, more permeable. Water just flows through it more, I don't know. We should know more about stuff. Alright, let's keep at it. Good lord. This is rather an elaborate bench of the dead. Tracy Marie Gould. 1st of August 1970 to the 18th of 10th 2021. There's a Tigger. Lots of personal notes there, photos, etc. Somebody tends this regularly, clearly. You are braver than you believe, stronger than you seem, smarter than you think. Winnie the Pooh. Huh. I don't even want to sit on that, to be honest. I mean, I'm sure that's what people want, you know, but just, yeah, it's a bit too much memorial and not enough function, if you see what I mean. But anyway, I'm following something at the moment called GMT. There's like GMT arrows, like the Greenwich Meridian Trail, something like that. And I saw a sign back there saying half a mile to the Greenwich Meridian Monument, which I think might be that thing there with the big ball on the top. Oh, we've got to go and have a look at that, if that's what I think that is. I think that might mark the point where the Greenwich Meridian passes this coast. We'll see when we get there. That probably is what that is. That guy again. He's just totally unpowered. That's just wind thermals doing that. Yeah, I think this is the Meridian Memorial. This is Peacehaven Memorial, but yeah, so I'm pretty sure I'd have to go back and look at some of them, but back on some of the South Downs Way stuff, we passed something similar out in the middle of a field, somewhere on the hills. So yeah, directly north of here by about 48 miles, it said, I think, is Greenwich Park. I had an excellent birthday picnic and lost the original of this hat. Yeah, and now we're at 51, 55 something north and about 0, give or take a few. Well, I don't know, minuses now? I don't know which way's plus. Are we going plus longitude now, or minus longitude? Which way round does it go? Clockwise, but if it's clockwise from the bottom of the earth or from the top, I'm getting confused. Anyway, yeah, so there we go. I've basically moved from one hemisphere of the earth to the other. It's not bad for an afternoon's stroll. Right, let's see what the east, the mysterious Orient has in store for me. Is it Occident? Occident's the opposite of Orient? Occidental, Oriental? Of course, Oriental's sort of taken to generally mean Chinese nowadays, but I think the technical term of the phrase is just Eastern. So I think Occidental is the Western counterpart. Oh well, something to obsess about while I climb this next hill. It's quite a shallow one. It's like that guy's shadow just swooping across the plain there, across the grass. Oh, he looks very smug up there, doesn't he? Don't don't know, I mean it freaked me out to begin with, but I think after a while it becomes quite soothing really, until you suddenly get a thermal drop and then you have to try and land in the sea or something, come down in someone's garden. I don't know, yeah, I'd be worrying about the landing the whole time, actually thinking about it. Not for me then. Blimey, there's a whole squadron of them. Squadron, flock, murder, parliament, I don't know. Fill in the blank. A large group of parasailers. Not hearing any engines, they're probably all going free flight there, aren't they? Sometimes you see them with a massive fan strapped to their back, quite noisy. Basically almost like a microlight at that point, but no, I think these are all just doing it from thermals. Ideal day for it, I guess. Perfect conditions, clearly. Everyone's got a whole sleeping bag arrangement up there. I suppose after the first hour or so the thermals won't let you come down, you just have to get a bit of a snooze. Very impressive. And slightly boggling as well. Slightly defies reason, you know. Yeah, I'm vaguely aware how the science of it works, but it just shouldn't be up there. I imagine your legs go to sleep after a while. It's got like little handles to pull to steer with. Not much other control though. Yeah. Alright, here's a nice sea top promontory thing. So that over there, let's do some more zooming for you. So that breakwater lighthouse thing is at Newhaven. And I think Seaford, I don't know, I think Seaford is this side of that cliff. So just over the other side, somewhere where those houses are, that's probably the end of Seaford, so that's the end of today. Don't think we're going up on there today. I certainly don't remember coming across it on the train on the way here, so yeah. Let's have a pan shot, shall we? There we go. Glorious blue seas. There's a little bit of a light haze on the sea there. Just making everything a little bit soft and indistinct. Got brown and yellow there with the sand's been churned up as the tide turns on the rocks. And then back there, well, we can just about make out Brighton. It's all a bit gloomier over there, can't see much beyond Brighton. Yeah. So we've got a bit more cloud beyond there, Worthing and beyond. But it's nice here. And if the wind keeps coming from that direction, which it has sort of died off a little, then yeah, I think it'll be blue and partial haze for the rest of the day, which is good. I've sun-tanned my arms up, had a bit of a water stop. God, look at these houses. Some of these are like a road's width away from crumbling into the sea. I bet they have trouble getting buildings insurance. Mind you, there's quite an extensive sea defence at the bottom of the cliff as well. I mean, you can't see it from here, but there's like another long concrete walkway down there. Obviously not as busy as the one we were on because it's not actually the path anymore, but it's like they've really spent a lot of money making sure these cliffs don't go anywhere as much as possible. But yeah, I mean the cliff edge is literally there. I mean, you know, there's a fence here, tufts about a metre away and then drops. So I'm going to back away a bit. But yeah, we're onto the sort of White Cliffs of Dover type landscape now. It will be up and down with these chalk cliffs pretty much all the way around to Margate, I imagine. So we'll see. Different kind of terrain again. The British Isles, it has subtleties, subtly different vistas to show you all the way around. It's not just one great homogeneous thing that always looks the same. Well, until you get to sort of like Suffolk, I suppose, and then it is pretty much the same all the way up to the Scottish border. I don't know, I'm making this up. Look forward to finding out. If you just keep walking, you'll find out. Oh, that's a bit big one. Is that a cross-channel ferry? Yeah, it looks like. That'll be a passenger service to Dieppe in the north of France. France is about 50 or 70 or so miles away from here still. It's sort of sort of the French coast turns northward, sort of south of here, and then starts really sort of surging up to meet the British coast, until by the time you get to Dover it's famously 20 miles wide and near enough to put a tunnel under. But at this point we're still good sort of 50 or 60 miles away, so probably not going to be seeing many inflatable dinghies full of dispossessed folks washing up on the beaches around here, but that'll change when I get on my big backpack week. It's going to be interesting to see. Apparently there's like 30,000 or so, 21,000 this year alone, and the year's not over yet, the season's not over. People washed up on the shores, they're fleeing Europe, well, fleeing wherever, going all the way across Europe and coming here, paying scoundrels to be set adrift in an inflatable dinghy and hope that the British Coast Guard takes mercy on them, I suppose. Wow, so it's meant to be that much steam. Oh, there's yachts, there it is. So it looks like it's on fire to me, but I'm not a nautical man. It's really powering its engines. I didn't think they were steam either, really. Oh well, we'll probably see more of that as we advance. It's going to take its time. If that is going to Newhaven, that needs to turn a bit before it comes in, so I'll keep an eye on it for you. But let's get some more walking in for now. Yeah. I don't recognise that company. Transcash ferries, Transcash. Maybe it's French. It comes from the other side. Don't know. I expect we'll be to Newhaven before it turns around and goes away. Looks like there might be a car ferry, passenger ferry. Certainly didn't look like a container ship or anything. Mind you, the train went through Newhaven on the way here, and it didn't look like it was that big a container port or anything like that, or oil terminal or anything, so might just be the ferry terminal. Oh, good. It's all a bit wild over here now. It's nice. Yeah, a bit of hill climbing in the shade of the wind, heating up a bit. Just stand here and get breezed on a bit. Here's a new vista. So we're on the top. I think Newhaven's the other side of that next radio thing. Well, you can see the breakwater as well, the lighthouse and things. So I think it's the other side of that hill there. But that over there, that's Seaford. If I can even see my car from here. Probably not. There's a station in the middle of it, not too far from the beach, and I put my car in a car park near that, so that's where we're aiming at. Don't know, 5 miles or so. But I think I have to cross this river at Newhaven as well. Yeah, maybe 6 or 7. So yeah, definitely halfway done for today, so yeah, that's good. That one went past, I'm sure I saw more than the standard number of feet dangling from it. I think there might be 2 people on that one. Might be a tandem thing. Another one going past. I think they're all coming back this way now. I don't know where they launched from, somewhere down there, one of these heathland hilltop bits. And these are just birds. But that's cool too. They've been at this a lot longer than them. Right, yeah, just a gentle meander down this to this holiday park then, and up and round or on top of that radio mast, and then down to Newhaven. And then we'll see what's next. Probably a little bit of an upstream trek to find a bridge, and then over onto the far side. And basically from Newhaven, as you can see, to the end to Seaford is pretty much flat beach dune top. So we're not going up those hills there. That's the start of Beachy Head basically, and then beyond there, after a day's hiking, is Eastbourne. So that's not today's problem. Just going to carry on. Nice meander. Does rather dominate the landscape. As I say, it's not a huge port. I mean, it sort of quadruples in size when a ship comes in. I think it's just a railway station and some customs houses. Of course we have to do all that now we've taken back control. Red lanes, dismantling people's cars and all that. I heard on the news that yesterday, which was Saturday the 3rd of September yesterday, the port of Calais had 5-hour delays as people were trying to be processed through the red lanes that we now have to use. I mean, the whole point of being in Europe, I always thought, was that we could standardise processes and procedures and share that kind of stuff to make life easier, streamlined for trade and visiting and so on. But no, we don't want any of that. So now we're not allowed to use the green "just go through, fellow European" lane anymore. We have to go through the red lane and declare all our stuff, show them our visas and so on, which we have to have applied for online. I don't know if it's an admin fee or not, but yeah. Need permission to go to France now, which has to be checked at the port by people at a desk in uniforms, which takes time, money, slows things down, and that's even when it's all working well. And it sounds like yesterday, so I think Calais have had trouble with strikes or not enough staff or something, so that's all taken a very long time. I don't know if we're going to go anywhere near AM20 on this grand adventure. That's a bit inland for me really, but yeah, I expect we'll go past Dover and see what's what. But yes, the M20's basically got a whole lane that is just a lorry park nowadays, because all the cargoes have to be processed and checked as European standards, etc, etc. Whereas before they were just like waved through with the paperwork. Slows everything down. And we done that to ourselves on purpose. So there you go. Yeah, but I don't know. But yeah, they had like so the train goes right past where that ferry is, and I saw they had like custom sheds and everything there as well. So there's an international border now. Yeah, I've never seen that T line with the yellow and white livery before. Don't know if that's a French company that comes to here. I don't know, maybe I'm not really that up to speed on cross-channel ferry carriers, to be honest. Brittany, P&O, that's about it really, isn't it? Don't know. Easy boat or something. Oh, they're all coming down near that mast. That must be their little base where they've all got their cars and things. Be able to peep on them as we go past. Yeah, benchmark, I think. This is what they did before those fantastic trapezoidal menhirs that I see around the place. Old-fashioned way of marking an elevation for map making. Some sort of beach down there. People on the end by the lighthouse. Not sure my path takes me out there. And yeah, floating people still. Yeah, up and over. So now you know. It's all fine, apart from the guy who threw himself off the cliff, tried to push them clear. Guy's old gun emplacement, World War II vintage, commanding hilltop. And the old coast watch people again, they're everywhere. Like a benevolent big brother. Coming down the other side now. Quite a lot of bits of old fort here. I think it's something that predates the Second World War here, this brickwork maybe. Maybe it was something Napoleonic as well. Who knows? Not me, that's usually the case. Big yellow boat. Yeah, we'll meander our way down to the shoreline, then have to track up river to find a bridge. Just might be a mile or two, and back down the other side and then along. You can see the train there. That's the one I came to Brighton from where I parked my car on. It's the Brighton to Seaford Southern Trains thing. Yeah, good. Ah, there's the entrance. New Haven Fort. Yeah, it looks older than the Second World War, certainly. Probably quite exciting, but I have to go somewhere else. Yeah, so I can read it a bit better now. It says Trans-Manche ferries. La Manche being, of course, what the French call the English Channel. Why would they call it the English Channel? They call it La Manche. So yeah, I guess that's a French carrier delivering curious Europeans to this strange England place. Had some French chatter up on the hill there, people getting past, exploring the place, having a little day out in quaint little New Haven. Going to the local shops and being aghast at the price of our wines, beers and spirits. That kind of thing. Alright, this will lead down to the wharf, I expect, and the riverside, and then we'll have to just follow it upstream to the bridge. Still, mind you, the acorns haven't led me astray today at all so far. I've been very impressed. So it's just nice to be recognised again, you know. It's nice to have that validation. Look, it is a thing, really. It's not just some weird mental illness I have. Good. There we go, a bit nearer now. Seven Sisters, it's called, registered out of Dieppe. So yeah, it's French. Flying a, I have no idea what that flag even is, even if it was the right way up. I don't know, I'm confusing my camera now. But yeah. Loading, unloading. Oh, it's unloading. This car's driving off it, look. The whole front unhinges. Very Jerry Anderson. I approve. And there they are, queuing to have their cars torn apart by our efficient British security forces. Border Force. Saw the shed, had the sign on the side. And really? You want to call it Border Force? Basic psychology, I suppose. Man, what is it with harbourside flats? Swanky harbourside flats that look out onto massive piles of scrap metal around this part of the world. Did you pay extra for that? Anyway, I've got myself a drink, so I'm ready to swig and run. Found a co-op over there, really. I can only really cope with local shops. I can't deal with ice cream shops and cafes. I've decided. I don't know what's wrong with me, but there you are. Right, yeah, that way. This one opens there. I don't know what river this is, I'll have to look it up. River Owls, apparently, O-U-S-E. I'm sure I'm pronouncing it wrong. Sign out there saying, well, down to the terminal as well, Trans-Manche and so on, but also hover speed? I don't know if there's a hover boat as such. Might be one of these fast cat things. Yeah, I probably don't want to be going this way. Well, I don't know. Should we go to France? I mean, if I go to France, I have to open the whole thing up to essentially what amounts to the entire Eurasian continent coastline at that point, including Africa. So that might drastically alter the scope of what I'm doing. Yeah, I've got work tomorrow and the car's over there somewhere, so I probably won't go to France, all the same with you guys. Maybe after I've done with the UK. Can tackle the Eurasian continent. Brief touch of civilization. Into town retail parks. Fast food, all that good stuff. Just keeping walking me. Just saw a sign saying Seaford 3. That was a bike sign, but I think distances are the same on foot and on bikes. I think miles don't work that way. So yeah, I just need to follow number 2. And appropriate signage. The old South Coast Cycle Route, National Cycle Path. If I ever get back into cycling, I might have to try that. Same thing as I'm doing now, but like 3 times as fast, basically. Got lost. Tricked myself into following the cycle route signs. I'm alright now, I found the right ones. It's down this way. Done 10 miles without much stopping really, so yeah, another 3 to go. Hopefully the right way. Oh, blimey. Thank God for that. I was beginning to panic. But that looks like acorns to me. Phew. It turned into one of those iron railinged, grim port type environments. A bit like Shoreham. But no. And there's like no through road down the end there as well and stuff like that. And this is all fenced off, but actually no, it turns out I'm in the right place. Just a bit of a dearth. Dearth? No, dearth's the wrong word, isn't it? Dearth's when you've got too much. A shortfall of signage up to this point, anyway. I shouldn't criticise the coast path, it's doing a fine job. I just kept walking and eventually I found an acorn, yeah. I can't put acorns everywhere. Anyway, so this way next, along the side of this derelict bit of wasteland, and then following the side of the railway, I think, for a bit. Splendid. There's a lot of different ways here. Sussex Ouse Valley Way, Vanguard Way, English Coast Path, Sea Haven Coastal Trail. I've got a suspicion I'm possibly on the Monarch Way as well at the moment. It's all going this way, which is good. There we go. You can see the hill forts over on the far side. Come on, don't focus on the chain link. Look through. Look beyond. There you go. Yeah, so we've been all up there, and then let's go inland and come back. But I got a drink and an ice cream, so I'm all right. Right, so let's push. This is probably just 3 miles to following the railway to Seaford station now. Which is, oh, there's a bridge. We'll probably go the other side of the railway. I don't know. Anyway, nice long sandy dune top for about an hour or so, and then we're done for today. Now, what time is it now? It's 3:10, so that'll actually be quite early for me, to be honest. Finish at about 4:30, and almost about 6 o'clock by the time I'm done with these south coasters. It's been a good route, I suppose. Yeah, excellent. Yeah, right. I think we're through all that nonsense. Along here now, Marine Parade, or whatever they call it. Yeah, if I saw a sign like that, I probably wouldn't camp. It's been specifically prohibited. I don't want to cause any trouble. I'd never do fires anyway. Oh wow, they actually got a gun up there. Is that one of the barrels of the actual emplacements? That must have been the bit of the fort I didn't go in. Huge. Right, this way. A couple of miles to Seaford. You can see it quite clearly now. Look. Just follow this. It's quite nice, easy going. Beautiful afternoon. Seem to be ahead of schedule. I don't know why. Probably looking at like a 4:30 finish, so like an hour and a half quicker. I think it must have just been much shorter this time. I don't really precisely measure these out, to be honest. It's just a quick drag about with Google Maps' measure distance tool and wing it, you know. But that tends not to take into account any seriously convoluted diversions and things. Sometimes it'll be longer, sometimes it'll be shorter. Good. Anyway, I'm enjoying this. Nice. And there's the Seven Sisters over there. That's a big old climb, and I think next week's going to be a hard one. Up and down all 7 of the Seven Sisters, presumably. Done it before, obviously, but yeah. It's hotter this time. It was February, I think, last time. It was the first nice spring sort of Sunday on. It's a nice sunny, first sunny Sunday in February that year. Like everyone was out. It was really, really busy. Seaplanes Station, Poppy Trail, oh god. New Haven's First World War, yes. I don't think I'm ever going to be allowed to stop paying for the sins of my grandfathers in that regard. Poppy this, Armistice that. Yeah, alright. Yes, I'll never forget. I mean, I wasn't there, I don't actually remember it from the first time round, but you know, I'll never forget. Yeah, they're all still out there. Maybe that's different people. Maybe it's a much bigger community than I thought. New Haven parasailing, para-whatevering. Yacht coming in there. Lots of people on the beach. Well, I mean, they call it a beach, I don't. It's all bloody shingle, isn't it? Look at it. Stones as far as the mind can imagine. People wouldn't know sand if it got up and performed cabaret at them. So So what we got? Just a bit of dune tops really, isn't it? Yeah. Holiday park there, caravans maybe. Some flats and things. And done. Turned out nice again. Here's one for you Forgotten Village enthusiasts. Forgotten Village of Tide Mills. You are here. So those little bits of concrete you can just about see. Thought it was some wartime thing. Tidal mill. Yeah. Ground corn for flour to export across southern England. Yeah. Right, here we are, back onto a bit of a promenade for the last half mile. Seaford itself coming up. Just drift on back to the car, I think. Oh, lovely place, lovely view. Nice little part of the world, not too busy. I mean, shame about the, no sand beach, but apart from that, it's got everything. Lovely. Do like to be beside the seaside. That's the car park. I think I can see my car too. That's a reassuring sign, usually. Never quite sure 100% that when you get back after a day's hiking the car's still going to be there, but generally it's always been there, so I've never had it stolen or robbed or broken into yet, so probably it's never going to happen. Alright, so let's get down to these flats and then I think we'll draw a line under it. Not bad going, not bad going. 4 o'clock more or less. Can't remember what time I started. It was a bit earlier than usual. Less mucking about with trains and things, buses and whatnot. That might be where I got the time back from. The train was basically there ready for me and went straight to where I needed. Alright. I need to cut through that park and head back to the car now, so I'm going to stop here. This is as far as I go. Well, as far as I go with you today. So yeah, that's what we got next time, next Sunday. Come rain or shine, we're going up and over the Seven Sisters. Eventually ending up in Eastbourne. With basically 1 week to spare before my big 1 week backpacking trip. Which should take me all the way to Margate in theory. But we'll see about that. That's always an exciting time. Mostly from the logistical nightmare perspective. But there we go, that was New Haven. And Brighton beyond. And a lovely sea here. People fishing and walking dogs. And yeah. Still not as good as a sandy beach, but there you go. Right, I'll see you next time then. Goodbye.